When night falls over Florida, it's not just about peaceful silence, it's also the time when dangers lurk from the deep woods. Wild boars, one of the most destructive invasive species here, often use the cover of darkness to wreak havoc and cause chaos. That's why night hunts have become a mission we hunters can no longer postpone. Follow this intense journey to see how we take them down. The moment we set foot in the area, we encountered our first wild boars. Through the thick interweaving foliage, we clearly spotted their silhouettes in the scope, ranging from massive adults to tiny piglets, all foraging for food. After closely observing their movements, we raised our rifles in unison and fired. Gunshots roared through the silence of the night, shattering the stillness. Some boars dropped instantly, while the rest scrambled to flee their parents. Stop. Staying on their trail, we seized the moment, aimed and pulled the trigger. Our agility and precision helped us win this tense encounter. We calmly waited for them to step fully into range. And then, Hubert and I fired round after round toward the herd. Sparks flew from the muzzle, flashes lighting up the night sky, followed by deafening cracks. The final blow to those savage beasts. I quickly swung my rifle to the left, where a group of wild boars was moving through the grass. This would be our next target. The instant the first shot rang out, chaos erupted. The herd scattered in every direction, desperately trying to escape. They tried to spread out and flee in all directions, but some unlucky ones couldn't evade our sights or the relentless chase. Prepared for the next challenge, and this time the prey didn't disappoint. A fat, hefty herd stood right before us. They rooted around blindly, eyes glowing eerily in the dark. My heart pounded faster as I slowly pulled the trigger. The bullet flew straight and true, taking down one of them cleanly. After a short break, we switched tactics, this time focusing on lone boars. The gunshot echoed across the quiet night, dropping the target instantly. Fueled by our earlier victories, we dove into our second round of the night hunt with even more determination. As the night deepened, the boars came out in greater numbers. Some herds had over a dozen individuals, always alert despite their activity. Using a mix of patience and stealth, we crept closer. When the time was right, our entire team opened fire, taking down targets swiftly. The night wore on, the chase continued, and we collected an impressive list of successful takedowns, one after another. Barely having time to enjoy our recent wins, we spotted more boars from our lookout point. Everyone quickly took their positions, raised their rifles, and fired. A volley of accurate shots from experienced hunters ended the encounter in no time. Round after round flew out and reloaded rapidly. The number of wild boars eliminated had reached dozens, an almost unbelievable count. Without this operation, it's hard to imagine the damage these beasts could have caused to the nearby fields. In the pitch-dark forest, danger from wild boar attacks could strike at any moment. That's why precisely pinpointing their location was absolutely critical. Their silhouettes moved, sometimes gather, sometimes scatter. But whether they were solo or in groups, our shots took them down swiftly. We packed up the spoils of our hunt with pride, wrapping up this thrilling night pursuit. And that brings our hunt to a close. Thank you for joining us on this wild adventure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.
This weekend, Jackson invited me to California to hunt wild boars together. He often talks about wild boars here and the terrible destruction they cause to crops. Therefore, such hunting trips are encouraged by the state government, and he often hunts with his friends. Without thinking much, I packed up and moved here, preparing for the hunting trip. Come on, let's start this exciting journey together. Invasive feral pigs in California are causing many negative impacts on the environment and people's lives. They not only invade residential areas but also plow up lawns in residential areas, damage the landscape and cause insecurity. In addition, feral pigs also destroy fields, seriously affecting crop yields and causing economic losses to farmers. To address this situation, the California state government encourages hunters and farmers to participate in hunting activities to control the number of feral pigs. Early in the morning, we started moving to the large field where Jackson said feral pigs often appeared. And sure enough, as the fog still hung over the mountain tops, we soon spotted a herd of wild boars. They were leisurely foraging in the harvested rice fields, their fur shiny black, their bodies massive. They must have been foraging and destroying the rice fields all season. That's why they were so fat. Carefully placing the Ruger American 22 Magnum, I I tried to aim accurately. My target must be the fattest wild boar. Just thinking about taking it down, I felt a surge of adrenaline. There was no time to hesitate. I pulled the trigger and fired. The bullet hit the boar's flank. It was clearly a weak spot, and the boar actually bolted from the sudden pain. I only ran a few meters. The accurate shot took it down. The wild boar lay motionless in the field, probably weighing around 300 pounds. After a great start, our hunt continued. On the way into the central California fields, we came across a herd of wild boars wandering by a small stream. And the herd slowly walked through the dry grass. The black fur made them stand out a lot. Look! I also found some mottled pigs. The size was not to be underestimated. It seemed that they realized something. The herd quickly ran away and disappeared behind the trees. A few minutes later, we chased and took down a black wild boar. With just one accurate shot, the wild boar rolled down the slope and was taken down. As expected, hunting wild pigs in California was a great experience. I killed monsters that destroyed crops. The swaying car, we headed to the grasslands to look for other targets. It was not difficult for us to spot the wild boars, as they appeared quite comfortably in the dry grass. This time Jackson pointed out the target he wanted to take down. It was the largest wild boar in the herd. It was running away but still in a good position. The first shot hit the pig's flank. It staggered but still tried to chase the herd. Immediately, I adjusted the gun and fired a second shot, this time still hitting the target. However, the giant pig was not easy to take down. I had to fire a third shot to finish it off completely. Looking at the wild boar rolling down the hillside, I knew I had achieved my goal, winning a big prize. The wild boar had grey fur covered in mud. Perhaps it often soaked in mud puddles to reduce the harsh sunlight hit. Terrifying. It was extremely large, had thick skin and had quite impressive fangs. On today's hunting trip, we had already killed quite a few wild boars. Most of them were large and impressive, but it didn't stop there. We still wanted to kill more wild boars. Under the trees, a herd of wild boars was feeding and quietly moving across the road. The leader of the herd was still the largest wild boar. It moved slowly without detecting any danger. What's a great opportunity. I was able to face it directly, not letting Jackson wait long. I raised my gun to aim at close range. It was not difficult for me to shoot accurately. The wild boar was hit by the bullet and ran up the hillside in panic. I could not escape. Just a few minutes later, we saw the giant monster lying motionless. The long fangs and huge size were what I could see on these wild boars. Surely, it would take us a long time to deal with them. My hunting trip only lasted for one day. What I achieved was beyond my imagination. This was truly an impressive hunting trip. I did not hesitate to tell Jackson that I was ready for the next hunting progress. Thank you for joining me on this trip. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support the channel. See you in the next video.
you ever wondered how thrilling it would be to hunt wild boars with a bow and arrow? No deafening gunfire, no long-range advantage, just me, my bow, and a massive beast lurking deep in the forest. This time, I'm facing the largest wild boar I've ever encountered, a true giant with razor-sharp tusks and a thick, rugged coat. A single mistake, and I could become the hunted instead of the hunter. But can just one arrow be enough to take down this formidable beast? Watch until the very last second. This is going to be a heart-pounding battle for survival. Wild boars belong to the Suidae family and are widely distributed across Europe, Asia, North Africa, and North America. They are the ancestors of domesticated pigs and are known for their remarkable ability to survive in the wild. Not only do they thrive in forests and vast fields, but they can also inhabit swamps. Boars are excellent swimmers and often wade through shallow waters to bathe in mud, cooling their bodies while protecting themselves from parasites. These swampy areas provide an abundant food source, including roots, tubers, insects, frogs, fish, and carrion. Dense swamps serve as an ideal hiding place, shielding them from human activity and predators like wolves and bears. However, their excessive reproduction has led to severe ecological damage. We couldn't just stand by and watch, we had to take action immediately. As sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, we embarked on a challenging hunt, this time armed with bows instead of firearms. Following faint tracks imprinted in the soft mud, we spotted a large, healthy boar, weighing around 80 kilograms, foraging obliviously. This was our chance. My partner tightened his grip on the bow. The arrow was in position, only waiting for the perfect moment. Suddenly, the boar sensed something. It raised its head, eyes glinting with suspicion, and then bolted like a whirlwind. The first shot missed. Damn it, it escaped. We continued tracking, determined to seize another opportunity. Patience, that was the key to victory in this battle between man and nature. And after a nerve-wracking pursuit, the beast finally fell. Our hunt didn't stop there. Over the next 2 hours, we secured several more successful kills. Venturing deeper into the swamp, the muddy terrain made maneuvering difficult, especially with a bow. We positioned ourselves high in the trees for better concealment and a perfect vantage point. Below, an automatic feeder had been set up, acting as the perfect bait to lure in unsuspecting wild boars. As expected, it didn't take long before an entire herd arrived, drawn by the scent of food. They rustled through the mud, eagerly searching for scattered corn. I quietly raised my bow, aiming for the largest and strongest one in the group. My focus sharpened as I prepared for the decisive shot. The first arrow flew, but missed. The entire herd panicked and scattered. The dominant boar, the strongest of them all, vanished into the dense brush. Luckily, the smaller ones hadn't gone far. The lingering scent of food tempted them back. This was our second chance. I pulled back the bowstring, eyes locked onto my target, and released. But no, another miss. Frustration surged through me, but I reminded myself, bow hunting has never been easy. Determined to redeem ourselves, we set out again the next day, ready for another thrilling chase. And there they were, for wild boars, a promising target. This time, our meticulous preparation gave us the upper hand. I took a deep breath, drew back my bowstring, and took aim. The arrow shot like lightning, striking the boar dead center. It crashed violently before collapsing. A surge of triumph coursed through me. The tension and anticipation melted away, replaced by sheer exhilaration. The morning sun cast golden beams over the vast swamp, painting the scene with a raw, untamed beauty. The air was crisp, carrying the earthy scent of damp soil. I locked onto my target, a massive boar digging through the dirt, completely unaware of the danger looming. To maximize our chances, we waded into the swamp, mud sucking at our boots as we moved closer. But the boar, cunning as ever, suddenly changed direction, forcing us to quicken our pace. My heart pounded with every step. Then, a moment of truth. I cut ahead, blocking its path. My grip tightened on the bow, my breath steady. There was no room for hesitation. I aimed at its weak spot and let the arrow fly. A perfect shot. The beast fell instantly. Our specialized vehicle rumbled through the muddy terrain, bringing us deeper into hunting grounds. Without delay, the team set up bait and prepared for an intense showdown. After over an hour of patient waiting, the first boar appeared, moving cautiously toward the trap. Peering through binoculars, we spotted an entire herd following its trail, closing in. My pulse quickened as I gripped my bow, pulling the string back to full draw. The arrow whistled through the air, striking true. Got it. But the hunt wasn't over. Seizing the opportunity, we continued claiming our prizes. Tonight would be a true feast. In the end, a single precise arrow was all it took to bring down the colossal wild boar in an instant. This hunt was both thrilling and exhausting, but we were proud of what we accomplished. Our relentless efforts played a crucial role in managing this destructive wild species. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.